Dame Time's debut in Milwaukee did not disappoint at all, dropping a healthy 39 points and making some huge plays down the stretch to close out Philly. But what's really scary is that Damian could have done a lot more damage in this game. Last night, Dame shot just 4 of 12 from 3, and a lot of the looks he got were clean, wide open threes, which are normally layups for him, and most of these looks were coming to him in pick and roll.
Long three, no good.
This play right here set the tone for the entire game, where Dame is going to work off this Giannis ball screen, and watch how PJ Tucker comes up to meet Dame at the level of the screen, which then opens up this pocket pass to Giannis, leading to an easy 2 points. Now after that play, Philly was primarily playing drop coverage against these Damian ball screens, which then allowed Dame to get into these clean pull-up threes. And if he would have made these shots like we're all accustomed to him doing, Dame could have easily had a 50-piece last night. On this play, you'll see Dame get into this dribble handoff with Giannis, and notice how PJ now is sagged way further down, so he can get in better position to defend Giannis' roll, but he then gives Damian a ton of airspace to rise up. So if we learned one thing from last night's game, it's that Dame's going to get a lot more open threes, which for the last few years has not been the case for him. Last year, according to Synergy Sports, over 55% of Damian's total jump shots were heavily contested, and that's obviously because Portland had no other major scoring threats around him, which forced him to mostly create offense on his own, which came in the form of him taking tough contested jumpers in pick and roll and isolation. And like we all know, Dame is one of the best tough shot makers in basketball history, and we for sure saw that in last night's game.
Lillard trying to spring free, looking for a call, and he gets it!
This fourth quarter dagger was tough, where Dame hits a delay between the legs and explodes to his left. Then once he gets the defense sliding, he immediately wraps the ball behind. Then from here, Dame's going to re-attack that top foot with a crossover and punch off his right foot for a step back. So Dame's ability to create and make tough shots is something the Bucks definitely need to close out games. However, in the first 3 quarters, Damian's going to be able to easily find quality looks in the flow of the game. And as the season goes on, Milwaukee is going to start to add some different actions to create chaos for the defense. This is an interesting play here, where the Bucks now use Dame as a screener and Giannis as the ball handler. And this action puts a ton of pressure on Tyrese Maxey, because he clearly doesn't want to switch and get matched up with the freak, but he also has to slide over to some degree to not give Giannis a clear runway to the rim. But on top of that, he also has to deal with an all-time great shooter popping out. And if Giannis was earlier on this pass, this would have led to a catch and shoot 3 for Damian. Another one of Milwaukee's go-to actions last night was this horn set. And again, because of Damian's ridiculous range, the Bucks could set these screens 40 feet from the basket, which pulled all of Philly's size away from the paint. And at the same time, Milwaukee also had 2 shooters spotting up in both corners, which gave Dame all this open space to work with. And once he beats Tobias Harris off the dribble, Philly from here has no extra resistance in the paint. You'll see the Bucks get to the same action here, and again, watch how this pulls all of Philly's bigs out of the paint. So from this spot, Dame is going to pick up a head of steam and attack Joel Embiid into the middle. And as Damian starts getting downhill, notice how he gets Embiid to open up and rotate his hips. From here, Embiid is clearly not on balance, so this allows Damian to attack his body and create separation for a short fadeaway jumper. So like you just saw, Damian last night had a lot of success attacking the basket, and that was primarily because the defense had to pick him up literally at half court. And if you've ever played defense at any level, you know it's really hard to pick up and contain the ball when you're extended really far away from the paint. Now off the bounce, I wouldn't say Damian has super crazy Kyrie-like handles, but he is really good at changing his pace while hitting simple but effective moves. And on top of that, Dame does have a crazy first step. Right here, watch him pound the ball with his right hand and briefly lift both his feet up to build momentum. Then he's going to push his left foot back to explode downhill and completely dust Tobias Harris. So when you mix all that in, along with the fact that defenders have to pick him up at half court, Damian is pretty much impossible to contain off the dribble. Let's go through this play again. You'll see Dame attack off the screen towards his left, and notice how he briefly relaxes and gets upright with the ball. But notice his feet here. Watch how Dame is going to skip off his left foot, then replant it while extending his right foot forward. which sets up a perfect half spin and allows Dame to turn the corner. Now on this play, we have Damian working off a ball screen in the open court, and as he comes off, Joel Embiid is waiting for him just below the arc. And from here, notice how Dame pushes the ball to his left hand, and again skips both his feet up, to then punch off his back foot and explode downhill. And once he gets completely past Embiid, watch how Dame gets to this inside hand finish, which allows him to use his body to shield the ball into this layup. And then of course, Damian also has a quick pull-up in his back pocket, which you can either let him get off cleanly, or most likely foul him trying to contest.